This is a Superglide mousepad. It's Pulsar's first premium glass pad, and while it looks incredible, it's playing catch up. The glass mousepad market has been dominated by SkyPAD for a long time. They've produced some of the highest quality hard pads for years. But is Pulsar's Superglide pad both cheaper and better than the SkyPAD? Let's find out. Alright, so first off, I just want to say thank you to Pulsar for sending me their new pads to test out. This video is not sponsored by them though, so as always, I'll be completely honest with my review. They sent over both a red and white extra large pad, as well as one black pad in their large size. The XLs are 490 by 420 millimeters, and the large is 420 by 330 millimeters. To start things off, unboxing went well, which is what I've just come to expect from Pulsar. Glass is obviously pretty fragile, so I was slightly worried that the pads might get damaged in shipping, but thankfully they were all extremely well packaged. Thick pieces of foam help secure them in place, and once you take them out, there's a plastic sleeve to pull off. My immediate impression was that all three colors looked great, especially this red supreme looking version, which I'm sure a lot of people will go for. The Superglide pad also uses lines of molded high density silicone along the bottom, which I've never seen before on a mousepad. This thing didn't move once I put it on my desk, even when I applied quite a bit of pressure to it. And that's great because there's nothing I hate more than a mousepad that shifts around on my desk. One of the main reasons I've used artisan pads lately is because I like how sticky the surface is on the bottom, but these Superglide pads are just next level. Now, truthfully, this was my first time using a glass mousepad. I typically use slower control pads because I'm a low sense arm aimer, so to conduct a proper review, I wanted to try something else. And luckily, my boy Danielle from Addis was kind enough to hook me up with a SkyPAD 3.0, so make sure to go check him out. I really appreciate his help with this. He even sent me the Yuki Aim collab, which I did not expect at all, but it's honestly dope. SkyPAD has pretty much been the GOAT when it comes to glass pads lately, and when I opened mine up, it was clear that it's a high quality product. The surface looks and feels very similar to the Superglide. But one thing I did notice is that since it only has 4 rubber feet in each of the corners, there is some flex when you apply pressure to the center of the pad. It's not something that I think would affect your aim, but I did prefer Pulsar's solution. It doesn't have any flex and just feels more secure overall. The XL version of the SkyPAD is wider and the Superglide pad is slightly taller. Overall, I prefer the size of the XL Superglide because it's the same size as my artisan, but that's just my own personal preference. Next, I want to get into my practical review. I've never tried Superglide skates before because I've heard that they wear down, and I just figured that they'd be too fast for me, and that's kind of what happened. I tested all the pads with my Death Adder V3 Pro, my Pulsar X2, and of course my Superlight. These are the 3 mice that I use the most. The Death Adder and X2 both had stock skates on them, and I used core pads on my Superglide for the 2nd and 3rd week of testing. Make sure you're using PTFE skates on these pads, by the way. If you use glass skates, then you'll probably scratch the surface and likely have no control over your mouse. Anyways, once I hopped in the range on Valorant, I noticed that both pads are extremely fast, as expected. They're faster than anything I've used before, and it's not even close. I lowered my sense a bit to try and compensate as I continued testing. My micro adjustments felt much better than I anticipated, but I often struggled when I was trying to track targets up close. There were a lot of moments where I just felt like I didn't have enough control for a game like Valorant. And I think that's alright, because unless you grew up playing on glass like some CS boomers, then I don't think you'll find many tac-fps players using this surface. SkyPAD even says that their surface is optimized for games that require high time to kill. So if I played games like Overwatch, Apex, and maybe even Fortnite, then perhaps these pads would suit me more, but as many of you know, all I really play is Valorant and old school RuneScape. Something that I didn't really care about, but my friends in Discord definitely mentioned, is just how loud and scratchy these glass pads sound. If any dust or hairs falls on them, then you might even hear a slight screeching sound. And again, this honestly didn't bother me, but it definitely bothered my teammates. So if you're sensitive to noise, or maybe you play games without headphones on, then watch out. As for durability, none of the pads have shown any signs of slowing down on me so far, and if you do happen to get any dust or debris on them, then they're extremely easy to clean. Another thing that I really liked is the fact that I can actually play on glass with long sleeves without it affecting my aim. But now, to answer the question you've all been waiting for, which one do I recommend? When it comes down to pure performance, both surfaces felt nearly identical to me. I didn't find myself aiming better on one compared to the other. But I can say with certainty that the overall quality of the Superglide is higher. The silicone on the bottom is insane, and the pad just feels more sturdy on my desk. The XL SkyPAD does retail for roughly $15 more than the Superglide, so unless you're a weeb and you really just want an anime waifu to look at, then I recommend going with the Superglide. That being said, since the SkyPAD is an older product, you're more likely to find it on sale every once in a while. But if you already own a SkyPAD, then I don't really see any reason to go out and buy a Superglide pad. And although glass might not be for me, I can guarantee that these are easily some of the best glass options out there.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.